Hello and welcome back to another episode of Boys Gone Wild. I am hungover, incredibly hungover actually. Well, not incredibly, it's not extraordinary. It's not incredible, I feel is it's too strong a word. Incredible is someone's journey back from Antarctica. That's an incredible expedition. That's what incredible is. Incredible is a strong word.
Can you not use it to kind of categorize things that aren't necessarily incredible in themselves?
Like, go on.
Like a hangover, you could have
incredible.
Incredible.
It implies incredulity, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's what I often, sometimes you need to think about what words actually mean.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny saying a hangover is incredible. Incredibly hungover. Well, yeah, I don't think it would garner much incredulity, my hungover.
No.
But I've rarely done, it's normally Andrew who's, in a semi-fugue state, only being carried through the fact that he's still drunk.
Sure.
But because this is a week, I'm not normally hungover, so this is a new experience for me. I'm very much going to be on semi-autopilot. But we are doing the second of our 6 weeks apart. Already it's tough on the old body.
What were you doing last night?
It was someone's birthday.
Who shouldn't be mentioned.
Who can't be mentioned on this pod. Well, right. Yeah, because basically, when people have birthdays...
But let's just say they're a senior figure in...
the Labour Party.
The Labour Party. It's Keir Starmer.
I was out at Keir Starmer's birthday last night.
Yeah.
No, whenever
a comedian he likes a beer.
Yeah, it was quite tragic because we were all enjoying ourselves and he was standing on the outside of the circle holding a beer and then laughing along with a couple
That's just
of
how he likes it. That's just how he likes to do it. He doesn't enjoy being around people drinking. It's purely just for the window stare.
He has a big smile on his face, good old beer Starmer, and then he goes to the toilet and looks himself in the mirror and goes, "Come on, Keir. Come on.
You're better than this, Keir. They're on to you."
And then I think Keir practices... saying hello before he goes out. So if he knows he's going to meet a friend or a female, he goes to the mirror and goes, "Oh hi, oh hey Rachel,
yeah,
how are you?"
He definitely practices when he's got when he's at a shop and he's got to buy something behind the counter and ask for them. He kind of puts that over in his head. 20 pack of Marlboro Gold, kid. 20 pack of Marlboro Gold.
Well, he's smoking.
Yeah, he's Beer Starmer.
That seems like because it's not for him. It's some kids have bullied him into buying them for him.
Right? Yeah. Some kids outside the shop. Oh, give us some cigs, Keir. No, thank you. That's illegal. Okay, fine.
Go on, Keir.
Fine. Okay.
Go on, Keir. You're worse than Ed. But yeah, when there's
what did you get up?
I hadn't finished speaking.
Well, no, come on, you gotta roll with that. You're hungover, but you can roll with that. Oh, you're actually really hungover. Yeah, there's nothing behind your eyes.
No, it's not. And I'm developing autism.
Because you weren't in the best state with that. I
wasn't
anyway,
in the best state. Honest. But
you weren't. You're definitely not the least autistic person.
No. But a jury could argue my case. It wouldn't be. My trial wouldn't be. It wouldn't be a show trial. There'd genuinely be some evidence.
Some interesting arguments either way. Yeah. It is one for a jury.
It wouldn't be a formality, is what I'm saying.
No. There would be discussion, but your name would be cleared. Yeah.
Because I use all my non-autism to flyer for my show. I'm actually a very good flyer, and even I'm taken back by my charisma with strangers. But then the problem is, and I feel a rush of confidence of feeling like, God, I am actually pretty good at this. But then I realise that I've used all my social skills for the day. So then after doing that and then doing a stand-up show for 45 minutes, trying to meet other people, it's like, oh God, my body's fully out. And that's partly why I've got a glazed look over my eyes.
Because there's nothing
going on there. But last night I went to a comedian's birthday, and basically in Edinburgh, if anyone's got a birthday, they just say, I'm going to be at this pub, and then every comedian goes there. So it's an incredibly stressful experience. I mean, it's quite nice to see some people, but I mean, I don't really know I don't know if I don't. You might. I guess the closest to having this is just having an old like a New Year's with all our school friends or something. But I
You're
don't
just
really
talking about social group events, large group events.
with people that you all know and all
Right.
owe a
Owe a
chat.
conversation to
Owe a
almost
conversation.
everyone there.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 And I just don't really know what the rules are because I'm always saying hello to someone and trying to have a conversation. Then another one will say hello to me during that. And I don't know if
Right.
I don't want to be rude to that person because I actually just haven't seen that person. But I just started speaking to this person who I hadn't seen. So I can't,
Right.
hello, oh, sorry. And then my big fear is I don't want, you don't want the feeling of like, oh, they're just moving on to a more interesting person when I'm just, and then it's in a confined
You're just trying to
space.
get by.
And I think everyone struggles with it, but I don't really know what's the smooth
No.
way out of that.
The person who said hello to you during a conversation is kind of breaking the rules.
They are.
You've got to be a bit more tactful than that. If someone's clearly in the conversation, you don't immediately go up to them to interrupt because otherwise it's then just a carousel of hellos. And no one actually says,
that was literally a carousel of hellos last. Heroes.
hello.
Yeah, there's a lot of shoulder tapping in Edinburgh, which it's nice. It's part of the thing, but there's a lot of...
Do you still lie to get out of a conversation? Because I think I've given up on that. Like, if you're in a conversation or you want to move on from it, or go to someone else, or you need to say hello to someone else, often I think back in the day,
Mexico
it would be
is
like,
the biggest country in the world.
and then just leave. It's a good way to do it because they're like, oh, is it? And then by the time they've contemplated, you're gone. You're fucking out of there. No, it's in like, I just need to go and do this. Or I was just in the middle of that. I need to go and grab this. And instead of just like, I'm gonna go now.
Do you say that?
Well, I
Surely
think
not.
I don't think I say anything. I just say like, I'll catch you later.
What, while they're way through a story?
Yeah, preferably when they're midway through a story.
I'll catch you later. That's hilarious. Someone's like, oh, the funniest thing happened to me, and you're listening, you go, I'll catch you later, and they're just midway
I'll
through.
catch you
like,
later. And then maintain eye contact as you leave.
And then you wait outside for 2 hours until they leave the venue, and then you catch them in a net and say, I fucking told you, cunt.
You're doing way too much net content at the moment.
Yeah, it's true. What net content am I doing?
I can't hear you anymore.
What net content am I doing?
I can't hear you, I'm afraid.
Hello?
Is it you or is it me?
I think it's me. Hello? Can you hear me?
Nothing.
Just calling Andrew again. Sorry about this, guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, a lot louder now, yeah.
Excellent. Brilliant.
We're back. Woohoo.
But yeah, no, I find in conversations, I still have to lie a lot, and I think it happens a lot with comedians. And I am fascinated by this because I don't know. I wish there was more. And I don't know how you feel. You are socially apt, but you also, you cover up a lot of deficiencies.
Well, that's what being socially apt is. You've just defined.
Is it?
You can't air all your dirty laundry. Everyone's a freak in every way.
No, I don't
not
mean
in
being a
every way.
freak, but I mean, anyway, I don't know.
What do you
why.
mean? Okay,
I mean,
this is go.
Yeah, I feel like, we can both rub people the wrong way, strangers, have bad first impressions. Do you know what I mean? But I wish there was more defined rules for these sort of events. Like if they could
So
print
would
off
you like
a laminated form with the 10 Commandments saying like, if the conversation's going
just the
anywhere.
10 Commandments, just to remind you not to kill or adult.
Yeah.
Can adult be used like that? If you
what?
can be an adulterer as a noun.
Could one adult?
Can someone adult?
Do you adult with someone's wife?
Oh, yeah, I think you could you. I don't know.
I don't know. Neither of us. This is a lot of the podcast. is, do you think you can do this? No, I don't. I have absolutely no idea. Not at all. But we let people ruminate on it, and that's this is a rumination podcast. There's a lot of ruminating going on.
There really is, but we'll find the answers one day.
Because I don't think other people are great in conversation either, at those sort of things. And a lot of to be honest, as much as I've talked about me, developing autism, I think I do a lot of the legwork in most people's conversations. Because occasionally, a lot of the time, I'll be like, all right, so if I maybe fucked up a couple of conversations or taken it too far or just done just felt uncomfortable, I'm like, all right, I'll let other people just talk and I'll just be one of those quiet guys who seem to be, you don't think anything of them, they don't embarrass themselves, they just don't say anything. And then it's just like dead silence. Everyone's so awkward and embarrassed. I'm like, is this what it's always like when I'm not around?
Every party's a nightmare if you're not there.
Everyone's just like, well.
So what's your ideal structure of a get-together that think you could ease your concerns about talking to people?
Because I'm an extrovert in a way, or maybe it's probably like, I don't know, there's all that introverted, extroverted stuff. Like I get my energy from people, other people, strangers as well. I like speaking to new people. So I'm definitely not.
Yeah.
But I think I'd like it where I think where the space of the room's more defined. Like last night we were.
So do you want categories for different races?
Not races, but
No.
I think there should be, with how good at anecdotes and just general fun people are, they should have different coloured badges on. So it's like a coloured tier system. It goes like red, green, blue, orange. That doesn't feel like a ascending or descending scale, really.
So as to not ruin the self-esteem of the attendees.
Well, no, because it would ruin the self-esteem of the attendees.
Yeah, but so then what's the point of not having like just 1, 2, 3, 4? Why do we need these kind of colours?
Yeah, fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, sure. And then you kind of have the most interested people in the middle of the circle, kind of hashing it out. And then you have each layer is the next round. So the people, like the fours are sort of like on the tippy toes.
Is it like playing King of the Court in tennis or football?
I don't think of it like that, but I quite like that as a... So what? Are you trying to best the person in conversation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get the right to move up to the next section. And then you play them, and then... Yeah. So the only problem with that is we'll need loads, so everyone can play, there'd have to be loads of different sections. Because there'll have to be half the amount of sections of people there. So if there was 50 people there, we'd need 25 sections and 25 different colour badges. Yeah,
it looks similar to speed dating, a social event. That's sort of my dream setup. What's your dream setup? What do you like in a social occasion?
I want the freedom. I want like I want a globalized world where there aren't any borders. I want a permeable membrane where there's no awkwardness. I don't want to feel bad about just deciding I don't want to talk to this person anymore and move to the next. But I'm often how I tend to do that, and I do it every now and again, is known as Andrew's Corner in our social group. And when we'll go to something, I'll park up in a corner with a drink and then just beckon people over. And then I'll have intense one-on-one conversations with them. And then
you're a big one of those guys. You're also a big disappearer.
Oh, yeah.
You really take yourself out the thing and have,
because I like to talk to the people I want to talk to for a long period of time rather than loads of people who I kind of want to talk to for a bit.
No, I want 5 seconds with everyone. I want just a constant mass. I want to only get surface level. I don't want to even break the skin. I don't want to break the fucking... Keeps the mystery up.
That quite works because then naturally people, want to go to the party and I'll be like, okay, you go. I'll find my next pig. And then it moves on from there.
Oink. Yeah. Oink. I think we both actually have a similarity, which is that we're quite uncompromising with, we really don't. Neither of us are really people pleasers at all.
No.
which I think actually makes us quite stand out for most of society, to be honest.
Because I think
So
I used to be more, definitely, and I've really noticed it just absolutely drop off a cliff.
Yeah. I've noticed it too. I think we like
Quite frankly, I hold the other person in the conversation in contempt.
Yes, it's true. Contempt of court is what
Contempt
I
of
hold them
court. Yeah, because they are lying to the judicial system.
No, because BB tells me that people get quite intimidated by me because I clearly look so upset and I put people under pressure to be interested, which I don't realise I'm doing. And I think we probably both do that. I can imagine us both being
Just kind of like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, okay, cool, yeah. You definitely do that. You have an eyebrow movement.
What, when I'm
You
bored
can't-
of shit?
You don't move your. What I've just realised this, but when you're talking to something that you're not interested in, or talking about something you're not interested in, your eyebrows just stay firmly on your eyes. You need to like adjust them slightly, because if you're meeting someone new, you want to do like put your eyebrows up a little bit like that, just so it's you at least look that. No, you see, you can't do it because now you're a terrifying professor.
Oh wow!
No,
Oh,
well you don't have to
mate.
do it like that. No, just like that. Okay,
Did they? That sounds hard, mate. Yeah.
Oh yeah, really? Okay, yeah, that's cool.
I think that's definitely true. I do also think that it's like the geography of my face. I've got an incredibly furrowed brow and ridged kind of like eyebrows that cast a shadow over my eyes. Because I think you actually spot this out with people. It's a big part of your people's faces that people don't talk about, which is whether the structure of your actual brow and eyebrow shadows your eyes. Because I think it really gives a huge different vibe to people's faces.
Do you mean if the eyebrows a bit extend like out?
Be
or
extended?
in?
Because if it's
Yeah, okay.
back, people look a lot more innocent just in general. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter anything about the personality. It's just the signifier.
Can you give
immediately innocent?
Can you give some famous examples of people with both kinds of eyebrow protrusion? Who looks naturally like friendly and because of their eyebrows, and who looks menacing? I'll tell you who looks quite menacing is William H. Macy.
Well, we look alike.
That's true. I think that's probably why I'm thinking of it.
Well, so BB has there's a lot of light hits her eyes, and she is big, and I don't think there's any shadow over there, so she looks much more innocent. And then me,
Yeah.
I always look stormy and furrowed and furious.
But is that not just also to do with the size of your eyes?
No, I think there's something else going on about there's just shadow. So whenever the light's there, it's like there's just shadow. So it's like my eyes are constantly just hiding under like a bus shelter, staring
Yeah.
out.
Or like
As opposed to lounging on the beach, you know.
Right. You're not
Yeah, in the sun.
sunbathing. You get badly sunburnt when exposed to too much socialness.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, that's an interesting point. I suppose
go
so.
on.
Maybe that's why I'm thinking about your eyebrows. But a lot of it is just showing emotion on your face, and you're not very. I don't think you're very good at doing fake emotions, or like
Not
particularly interest is something you really struggle with to fake massively.
What do you think?
Because you do look
pretending?
angry. It's honestly, it's just your eyebrows. They just sit in the same place, and you're like, okay, yeah. It doesn't work.
Well, you're not excellent either.
I'm a hell of a lot better than you.
No,
I'm not good at it. But I can at least go, okay, yeah. Just raise the eyebrows that.
You do a thing. What's different with art? Because we both have this is something we both struggle with in different ways. My problem, I'm actually much better at saying words that imply that I'm interested.
But I'm okay at asking questions. I often just ask questions of the back of people. I can't.
But
You've just
often
gotta keep
you're
them
not
talking.
at all even listening what they're saying, and
That can be a problem.
You have no idea what they're saying, and you're showing with all the right facial expressions because you're going, yeah, yeah, brilliant. But there's nothing going in. I'm listening intently and hating every second of it. But why would you do that? Okay.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I guess so.
You should be for us. You should be like me. You don't have to listen to what they're saying, but you still aren't appearing that rude because your face looks interested.
Yeah.
You can go somewhere else. Go to your own little world.
Yeah. I wore contact lenses for the first time on stage 2 nights ago. It was actually the best
How was
gig of the run, but I became fully. They made me way more. Maybe it's because I just conceptually, spatially already, it's a bit fucked because of my dyspraxia. But having contact lenses, it was a weird conception, and I was only with Sean, so it was contained. But I was on my worst form of all time. Not all time.
Wait, on stage or what?
No, just speaking in conversation. But luckily, it was a controlled environment where only one person got to see it.
Wait, is this after the show or before?
After the show.
Right. What were you
so
doing?
I think I just was making no sense. I was a lot like
you were wearing
our
contact
friend
lenses.
Cowley. Yeah,
Right.
I would be trying to make a point and then completely forget what I was talking about and show completely the wrong emotion.
No, I've never heard that as a side effect of wearing contact lenses.
No, I don't. It just completely fucked me up.
Why is that? Because you can see for the first time, or is it a different kind of sight?
I think your eyes have to adjust to contact lenses, so everything was slightly spacey. So my depth perception was a bit off, and that surprisingly
and
had a big effect on it.
You are nothing without your depth perception. I've said that many times about you. That's your greatest skill. That's your superpower.
Emotional depth perception. I'm like, that person is shallow. But thanks to everyone. There's been a lot of people who listen to the podcast coming to the shows. The numbers have been good, actually. And the audience demo is still... Those white women are fucking... They're keeping us alive, you know.
They're keeping us afloat.
They are. You got to, you've been getting a tough time, white women. Especially middle class ones. But here at Boys Gone Wild, we love you.
You finally got Boys Gone Wild to correct for the history of mistreatment and lack of equal rights.
I think 70% of the audience are like women, to be honest.
Are they hooping and hollering?
Yeah, they're flashing.
What, titties?
No, fanny.
They're minds.
But yeah, it's been... Go on.
Have you had any good heckles or anything fun from the shows? Any anecdotes?
I didn't have any. I mean, the shows have gone pretty. Oh yeah, so the first show, and so what I'm doing up here is a 45-minute work in progress, which is quite hard to explain to people. And sort of the thought I had was, while I'm up there, I'll just have to become good, and that's sort of coming true. But the lack of preparation, basically, I was just doing 45 minutes of all the material I liked back to back. It's not like a show.
Yeah.
And so on the first night, loads of people were in, and for half an hour, it was great. I was killing. It was all the stuff I'd spent the last 3 days writing and honing. And then the last 10 minutes that I hadn't written at all sounded like I hadn't written them at all. My set was... The first half an hour was solid shit, like genuine logs of shit. Then the last 10 minutes was farts.
Okay, and in this odd analogy, the solid logs of shit are good.
Great.
Right.
They've got substance.
Right, and then the farts are bad.
The farts are bad, and they are all... Yeah. I built up so much goodwill in the room until my 10 minutes of farts.
Really odd analogy to use.
Well, just talking out my arse, really, and I just faded the show out. And now it's all changed, so I end on a high. But who knew you should end on a high with your show?
Really?
To be honest...
Hey, Edinburgh's a learning curve, man. You've got to be finding all this stuff out.
If you kill your last 15 minutes, people will forget everything else. To be honest, it's the most important bit.
Yeah. So why don't... What's the point in even turning up for the first half of the show? Just kill the last 15. Just stand there in silence and stare at everyone for half an hour and then kill it in the last 15. You'd probably get a bloody award, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you'd probably get an OBE.
Oh, God.
But genuinely, I think people would leave that going, that was all right, actually. I really enjoyed that. Even if you'd spent 40 minutes not doing anything.
If you just get
and then
one big laugh
yeah.
on the last joke, and then it's almost like you can search. You can go out there with no plan and no material and search for 45 minutes just to find a joke that everyone laughs at, and then just as soon as you get that, drop the mic and walk off.
Yeah, I think they'd be like, that was alright. I like that joke he did at the end.
Yeah, that was actually quite good.
And then the other shows have gone well, apart from last night. And I think a lot of podcast listeners were in last night, but I know it was like 30 people, but it was not a good. But I blame them actually. You know, I've had some performances where I wasn't great, but I think that was actually on the audience. I think I was actually pretty good. Yeah, and it is quite a. I'm now realizing. I mean, I haven't bombed like they were. I got laughs, but yeah, I've spoken to some friends who have bombed their show, and it's like bombing for an hour. Apparently, is
So
just
I was just about to ask if. I presume you just have to keep going.
You got to keep going, and
Fucking
also
hell.
there's like.
Can't you be like, you're not enjoying this, I'm not enjoying this. Let's just cut it off here.
I mean. That's the worst thing about it is when you can tell they're all bored. The worst is that then you're bored as well, and it really.
No one wants to be there. Let's just go. Can't you do that? Because that makes sense. Because I hear about longer form bombing, and it is an art form, but just let everyone go, including yourself. So
how much do you give it of bombing?
I think the minimum.
Yeah.
If it's a 45-minute show, the minimum you have to do is 25 minutes.
All right. I mean, that's all right. I thought you were saying... I mean, that's more... But I reckon...
No, you got to feel it out.
I don't think you should bring it up. Because I think then people... Because people are also dumb, and once you tell them it's a bad show, they really think it's a bad show.
Okay,
so
well then instead...
Just end it early.
No.
That's all I've got.
No. Fake a family emergency. Then they'll have no idea. You'll get a call.
Could you role play that for me? How that would look?
Yeah, fine. I'm in the middle.
So you're
of
on
the show.
stage.
Yeah.
No one's interested.
Because
this is how everyone looks. This is how everyone looks.
Yeah. Oh, I'm getting a call. What? My mum's in hospital. I've got to go, guys.
Well, you delivered it like that as well.
Yeah. Because look, if they're not going to give me anything back, then why should I even put delivery into the...
Oh, my mum's in hospital.
You never know. You might even get a laugh from that because they know what you're doing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pete. Yeah, and then come back on for the round of applause.
Yeah, I guess when you've done that every night, word might get round that his mum just keeps ending up in hospital.
Or it might get round that his mum is seriously ill. And just keeps falling down the stairs.
Maybe we shouldn't have been so bored during that poor guy's show. He's clearly struggling.
Yeah. He's clearly going through something. Maybe we're the problem. And that itself is the art form.
How have you been? Is Taha and Adam in the house?
Not right now, but
are they around?
They're around, yeah. Me and Adam made food and watched Better Call Saul last night.
Oh, nice. Oh, nice.
Oh, big nice. Big nice.
And how have you been? How have things been?
Good. Went to Pride this weekend.
That's what I miss every year. It's a shame.
Yeah. It never fails to deliver. That's the thing. It's always good. It gets a lot of hype around it, but it is always a fantastic day. Although it was the first time because I got scheduled on work on Sunday, so I had to, for the first time, get out of Brighton, basically, or get the train back instead of a taxi back to Mum's house because she doesn't live there anymore. But so it took. I think we left the actual village party thing at 10:30. We got back at 2:30 a.m. It was horrendous. Okay. 4-hour journey.
What was horrendous? Oh, back to London.
Yeah.
That's brutal. How did you get back?
We just got the train, but then as we got there, we realised there was a huge queue, and just to get the train, and then it was one of those things where the train was absolutely rammed for every time. And we got through one wave. It was too packed to get on, so we wait for the next one. Got a seat, but at that point, I was like, I need a wee already. This is a problem because we couldn't go to the toilet. and then we thankfully got a seat, but then it was so rammed that you just couldn't get up to go to the toilet. So I was in agony. Honestly, the worst. I've never needed a piss more in my life.
How close did you come to full-on unloading? Unloading a full round into your pants.
It was a kind of exercise of restraint and mental willpower, and I was quite pleased with the results because it was one of the toughest.
You're stronger because of it.
Yeah, it was. Because I thought yesterday I was finishing Better Call Saul with Adam, and I needed a wee, and I thought, you know what? If I hadn't had that experience this weekend, I probably would have said, "Can we pause it and go for a wee?" Didn't need to this time. Because I'm a stronger man.
Because you're mentally stronger. Yeah.
I'm mentally stronger now.
That's what Jordan Peterson would like. That's what I bet he does. Yeah. He waits to the last moment. He pisses himself.
But I had my legs crossed naturally, and then we were like 20 minutes off, and it was just hitting. It was hitting different, man. It was hitting different. But then we stood up, got to Victoria, stood up, and I just felt I felt like I was doing permanent damage to my bladder when I tried to. I couldn't run. I was honestly, and I promise you this was happening. I'd love to if I had a video of this. Limping, half run limping through Victoria Station, just going. It was horrendous.
Did you have to go like your back was crooked? Because you can't stand up straight or else it's gonna.
Yeah, my back was kind of crooked. My shoulders were like this. I was limping and moaning, nearly in tears.
Yeah,
and then, but we got off, and then we went to go and get off at the doors, and then they opened. Too many people streamed through, and they malfunctioned and shut the train doors. So we were stuck on there for about another minute, and I was there. This is fucking ridiculous. And then the toilets at Victoria were closed. I was huffing and puffing. I was crying, basically.
Yeah, fine. So it was more of a whinge. Yeah, go on.
It was more of a very deep moan from the soul. But then we got off at Victoria, and the toilets weren't open, so I had to run to a nearby green patch. Had the longest piss of my life.
Do you think?
But Pride never disappoints. That was the longest piss of my life.
Wikipedia top 10 lengths of Andrew's pisses, and they have the numbers. Do you think this would be number one, or you say it's probably circa top 5?
No, I'm pretty sure it'd be number one.
How long do you think? What kind of numbers were you racking up?
I'm just getting a sense of how long 5 seconds is. At least 35 seconds. That's of pure stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot. And then we went down into the underground, and after that ordeal, and we still had the journey from Victoria to go, and this fucking guy had his speaker out and was playing this disco song, and it was one of the most cavalier.
Did he have an iPad?
I don't know. He just had a big boombox, and it was very loud. Yeah.
Was he in his 40s? Older?
Maybe, yeah. Have you seen this guy?
Yeah, I've met him a couple of times. Was it? Yeah, it's probably it's either in Oxford Circus or Victoria. Was Oxford Circus?
It was Victoria.
Okay.
Well, this is weird. But he had a massive boombox, and he was playing this one disco song, which I quite like. But it was so the whole platform could hear it. I can't remember. I think it was "Love Come Down, Baby, You Made My Love Come Down."
I know this guy.
And he was if he does this more than on one night, this is terrifying. Because we came down and he had his boombox.
Stories of other people.
So he had his boom. Let me explain it. He had his boombox playing so the entire platform can hear, playing that song, and would just get halfway through it, start it again. And I was honestly sitting on the platform just because we had to wait 15 minutes for the night tube. And it was 15 minutes of him playing half of that song and starting it again so the whole platform could hear. I was fucking livid.
What's going through his head?
That he just really likes that one bit of the song. And he doesn't care who knows it.
And you didn't see what he was playing off?
No.
Was he using a phone?
Why does that matter?
Because I remember he had an iPad. That's what I remember.
He might have had an iPad. But if he's...
I'm pretty sure it's this guy. Because I saw him in someone else's Instagram story, and it was a song I actually showed you. It was a great song, It was a great song, and he was playing disco tracks. And then there was this really weird altercation because it was a good vibe, it was good music, and he seemed like quite a fun-loving guy. And then someone asked him, "Oh mate, what's that song?" And he got kind of like he was getting that all the time, and was literally like wouldn't tell him because he was like basically saying like, if I told you, I'd have to tell everyone, like a fucking like a.
The man standing in an underground station playing music for everyone.
And then he had this kind of weird altercation where the guy was like, "I'm just asking for the song," and just made it all very weird.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's just a very audacious thing to presume that everyone on the underground at 1:30 in the morning wants to hear that music that you're playing.
Yeah.
Particularly if you're going to play the same song and repeat.
Yeah.
It was honestly the most astonishing thing I've seen for a while. But he seemed to be having fun, and that's what matters at the end of the day, isn't it?
Did you have something? Were you telling me something about Sean Bean, or am I losing my mind?
No, you're not losing your mind. That's the big news, is that Sean Bean has come out recently in criticism. He's come out in criticism of intimacy coordinators on film sets. Intimacy coordinators are basically people who they kind of help actors through sex scenes. And kind of, I think, try and make it seem intimate, but also allow it to be, for both actors to be comfortable. So it's, sex scenes are pretty weird things to film. So
what do they study?
There to sex.
Then okay.
I don't think it's a degree.
Or is it just like a person who's just like, yeah, I get it. I just get it.
Well, it's a profession. I'm sure you get trained in it.
Yeah. So to try and make it feel real, basically, or just to try and make it feel at ease.
I think it's both of those things. I think it's helping actors kind of get to know each other and like the moves to do to make everyone comfortable whilst also making it seem real. But Sean Bean isn't a fan of them because apparently it kind of takes all the realness out of the sex scenes. So I think Sean Bean just wants to plow on set.
He does. I mean, that's something I've always found interesting because it feels like it would be I'd be so embarrassed doing a sex scene, a non-comedic one. It would be a lot. But yeah, and having everyone in the room there. But yeah, you wonder how much do you get off with that? Like, how much does it, like...
Well, boners must be prevalent.
It must be prevalent in the industry.
That's what I always think. Like, there's going to be some chub-ons around in these sets.
I think they use this sort of cling film to wrap
around your
cock and balls around so that you can like plow and it looks like it's going in, but it's not going in because obviously you can't penetrate because then it's porn.
Yeah, so it stops direct genital contact.
Yeah, so you're wearing like a cling film nappy and just blinking away, but it's all squished in. But then I would think that my extraordinarily powerful boner would just pop through that cling film.
Because it's very pointy as well, isn't it?
Like a knife through hot butter.
Sharp edges. Very unpleasant for your sexual partners. Just a knife with sharpened blade.
Yeah.
Well, even just the presence of a boner is awkward in itself because
here's a good take.
But people get all misty-eyed when you're talking about method actors and like people really committing to the scene and feeling it. I say if you don't have,
people start crying.
Yeah, I'm
they
saying
start talking about what Daniel Day-Lewis, and it was just.
Yeah, they do.
He went to Italy and made shoes for it.
You've seen people do it. You've seen people do that.
True. I've done it, mate. I've done it.
But therefore, on the same merit, like if you're doing a sex scene and you haven't got a chub on, then should you be in a Hollywood production?
Should you be fired?
Should you be fired if you get a chub on?
Yeah, because I think sometimes it would probably be quite awkward doing those sort of scenes. But I just wonder if anyone like enjoys it and finds it kind of hot.
Surely not.
No,
I mean maybe but there's no sense of reality to it or gratification. It's just I think I'd find it very hard to get any kind of heat or arousal out of a situation where I'm wearing a cling film nappy.
What, and someone, and so you got a mic in your face. There's the sound guy.
And then there's just the sweaty sound guy. That's not something I can necessarily get on board with, but then I guess, but the whole point is you're trying to lose yourself in that scene. So maybe. But what if
the objective of the scene, your character objective, I'm talking proper dramatic work, is to honk Scarlett Johansson's titties.
It's to honk them.
You know what a honk is?
I know what a honk is. How has my character got to that stage?
Scarlett Johansson has it's admittedly it's not a great film. I'm not going to lie.
But we got ScarJo in though.
We got ScarJo in, and I think she's regretted it immediately. But
because I'm the other star of it.
Yeah, but it's only because Scorsese's directing it that she thought it can't be that bad, and she was more doing it for the director. Because admittedly, the premise when she heard it, she was like, "That sounds awful." Well, Scorsese's
I'm sure
directing
Martin will do something with it.
I'm sure there's something interesting, but basically, every time you honk Scarlett Johansson's titties, a child is saved. So you have a real. It's sort of a moral. Yeah.
What's your question?
I'm just saying. I'm just trying to imagine things that might get you horned up.
Right. So, but what's your question? Would I be aroused if I had to honk? I don't think a honk is ever going to really do it for me. And
then if someone has had a heart attack and died,
that's more my speed.
You get to slap J-Lo's ass and they come back to life.
So you're asking
directing
me,
it.
Are you asking me would I be aroused in the situation where my character can either honk Scarlett Johansson's titties or slap J-Lo's bum and people will basically be saved?
Yeah, for different reasons, but
it seems like an odd way to go in this conversation because you could have just said, "Well, would you not feel aroused if you're having a sex scene with J-Lo?"
No,
instead of this odd premise.
No, I tell you why that would probably be more horned up is because it wouldn't be so sexualized and awkward. It would almost be you'd feel less pressure, and you could maybe. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I know.
Because if you've got that, I don't think the sound guy would put me off in that scenario. And the hook is you've written the film,
right? Cool, got it. Yeah. So I'm the unnamed producer and ghostwriter that's been a mystery.
And you do the casting as well.
Sure. Yep.
But Scorsese
and they're playing J-Lo and Scott are playing themselves.
Because I do find that fascinating. Because there was that Joseph Gordon-Levitt film Don John where he plays the porn addict.
Oh yeah.
Did he write that? He wrote and directed himself.
That's
and
a
then
shame.
It's just like, and then I fucked Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah. That's like weird that he wrote it himself. Is he a secret Terry Crews? Fucking Terry Crews, man.
I don't think we talked about this on the main episode. Terry Crews' porn addiction, where he watches porn from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Fucking
decided. Okay, we all do weird stuff, but talking about it on a reveal all podcast is what we struggle with.
It's just one of the funniest things to be like acclaimed as brave for. To come out.
Because the amount of people coming out about their mental health and struggling with depression and how tough it was losing their sister when they were growing up and how they've never really spoken. Like when Joaquin Phoenix talks about losing River Phoenix.
Yeah. Or just people that have, been sexually assaulted or anything like that. And they come out as... And then Terry is like, I guess it's brave. It's also... You don't have to share that much of... I would watch porn from sunrise to sunset.
Wow, thanks for being honest for all those people struggling.
God, that took a lot of courage. It did. In a way, it took more courage than all of the other ones. Because it's such an embarrassing thing. And it's like something that's kind of happening specifically on you. I guess it speaks about addiction, doesn't it? But
So like if
just spare some details is what I'm saying. We don't need to know the extent of it.
because I'd be interested to hear, I don't know, someone like Ross Kemp.
Right. Yeah.
Ross Kemp comes out and talks about having a micro penis and the issues he's found, the mental health struggles he's had, and the sort of the problems he's had maintaining a sexual relationship with women because of the size of his penis. Now, what do you think when you have like a dramatic sit down with that?
Yeah.
You've got Ross Kemp and it's dramatic lighting, and you find out his penis is 2 millimeters.
Right. Again, what's your question?
I'm saying, is that brave?
Comparable?
Is that comparable?
Yeah, that's brave. Now, there's just something about Terry Crews and how he did it that just gets. It's just the extent of like he could have. Does he need to talk about the? I watched it all day. The problem with it is.
Is he trying to highlight the issue for other people?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's strange. It's just a strange one. How much of if that is, I mean, because in a way, it's important that he said he's doing it all day because now I'm like, holy shit, that is a problem.
Yeah.
Rather than just he likes to watch porn too much. That is. But the problem is you just can't. It's a tough one, and I think it is brave because of this. Because all you can think about is Terry Crews sitting in a dark room with a glass of whiskey all day, just watching porn.
Whiskey.
That's just kind of. I'm just imagining. We don't know it was a dark room either, did we?
I think whiskey is a much more sophisticated drink.
It's almost too. It's cooler. A glass of milk.
That is horrendous. No, I think he's drinking a 3-litre bottle of Mountain Dew or something like that.
All right.
It'd be that kind of sort of vibe.
That is that vibe. I prefer him to have milk.
You wouldn't want him with like a tumbler with like scotch in it and maybe
no, because then it's almost like he's getting something artistic from the porn. If he's got a tumbler of whiskey, he seems like he's getting something that we don't understand. Like he's studying it in a way. A glass of milk. The guy doesn't actually want to be there, but he has to be there.
No, I reckon how Terry Crews watches porn for 11 hours a day is like in one of those kind of classic office cubicles from like the 90s.
He's constantly peering over the.
I see a good film. So it's got like the big computer screen. He's got a picture of his family. He's got like a stapler, and he's sat not lounging back. He's just watching it like this, as if he's working. That's how I imagine doing it. He's
so
taking
Terry
notes.
Crews, a rich and famous actor, has rented out an office cubicle with other people in it, set it up like he works there, because that is becoming a whole different kind of problem. That's not just a porn addiction. That's an identity crisis. Yeah,
and then people who are using the office space are like,
is that Terry Crews? And they're like, he's watching porn in there. He's not doing a very good job of hiding it.
He's not wearing headphones.
It's coming straight out of the monitors. It's very loud. Oh dear.
And maybe he hasn't realised, but he's been on for 10 hours. And he's watched every...
Have any of you seen him go home? No, I haven't either.
Because he's so big, you can just see the top of his head over.
His bald head popping up. God, terrible.
All right. That's as much time as we've got for this week. Thank you so much for listening, guys. We really appreciate it. We're going to go over to the Patreon now. Please subscribe. Come see my show, 10 p.m. at the Waverley Bar. Thank you guys very much. Cheers.
Bye.